Hello YouTube, this is Noah, and today I'm going to be doing an unboxing and review of the Samsung Gear S3 Classic. I will also be unboxing and reviewing a little accessory set that comes with 2 extra bands and screen protectors. It's by the brand Valkit on Amazon. I'm pretty sure it's a Chinese brand, but it looks like it is quality bands that it comes with and screen protectors. So I will be doing multiple things in this video. I'll be unboxing the Samsung Gear S3 Classic, and unboxing the accessories kit that comes with it, and then I will be reviewing the accessories and Samsung watch, and I will also be demonstrating and talking about the features of the watch itself. And those 3 things are going to be split up into different segments in the video, and I will leave timestamps in the description so you can find exactly what you're looking for. It may end up being a little long of a video, but like I said, you can use timestamps if you're not looking for a specific part of the video. So first off, we're going to be unboxing the S3 Classic, which I have right here. And so I'm going to try and make this video as quick as possible. So without further ado, not that much on the box, so we'll slide the plastic wrap off. Pop it off just like that, and not cut all the way through. I was trying to be careful with the box to not damage it. It is a very pretty box. Ooh. I think that's just plastic, but nonetheless, it looks very pretty. Inside here, you have some very hard to see protecting foam for the watch itself. And here we go. This is what the watch looks like. And it's already got the charging cradle resting on there. I'm going to begin peeling all of the protective plastic off for you guys. A little piece of foam here that I'm going to pop out. Just kind of keeping the watch situated inside there to keep it from rolling around inside the box. So let's take it off the charging cradle here. Some more stuff to keep it protected. Very nice overall packaging, not only the aesthetic, but the condition of it that keeps the watch safe. Very quality. So this is a really interesting charging station that it comes with. Looks like it takes a micro USB, and in order to charge the watch, you literally just set it down. It's got a magnet on the back, so it falls into place, and the watch just charges while it rests like that through induction charging. Let's take this band off here. Or sorry, not band, piece of plastic. This leather does say it's genuine leather, and I think I can't vouch for whether that's true or not, but it does feel very quality. I chose this one over the Frontier version because I overall like the silver aesthetic better, and the actual buttons that pop out here, I like that better than the Frontier with its really sleek buttons, or slimmer ones I should say, and its black face. I didn't really like that as much. I more prefer the silver face. More plastic to peel off here. Let's see, we'll slide the band out like that, and left hand, I guess. Shouldn't have any problem fitting this band to it. I think there's plenty of room. I'm not going to be personally wearing it that much in this video, though. I'll mostly be showing it off the actual watch face itself rather than the band. The really cool thing about this is it uses standard 22mm bands here. So in order to remove it, you just push down on this pin with a little bit of force, and it'll pop right out. It was a lot of force that I needed there. It's not going to easily be bumped out or anything. So, let's see. There's a serial number here. I'm going to peel that off as well. So we can have just the bare watch. I'm going to remove this other band right here. And there we go. That is the watch face itself. Really quickly, I'm going to weigh it. So you can see how much the actual pieces of it weighs. Here is just the watch face. And that's going to come in at about 58 grams. Now the band itself that it comes with is going to come in at 13 grams, 14, in between that range there. And the charging cradle is going to be about 43 grams. So not all too heavy. I mean, compared to other watches, it's probably going to be more heavy, but I don't think it's very heavy to me. It feels pretty lightweight. Let me see if I can adjust the focus here. We are going to be taking the measurement of the watch. It's going to be about 45 millimeters in circumference, and with the actual band attachments, it's going to be about 55. I'm having trouble getting the measurement here. 55-ish for the entire face itself. And the charging dock is going to be roughly 45, 46. And it is magnetic too. 55 height as well. Millimeters. Everything is in millimeters here. So let's dig into the rest of the box. We can look at the other accessories that it came with. If you pop this piece off here, you're going to see a smaller band for people with smaller wrists if that band that was inside the box was too big. So it's nice that Samsung includes that option. And here is the micro USB cable for the actual charging dock itself. This thing is waterproof IP68, so you won't have to worry about getting it caught in the rain. It's not going to be a big deal. Inside here we got this little bag, and that contains the charging adapter for the watch. So set that off to the side. And also in here is your quick start guide, which looks actually pretty lengthy. I have not seen a quick start manual this lengthy in a while. Hopefully it's not all just translated. Yeah, it looks like quite a lot of information, and it's all in English. So that is quite a lengthy book, all to be in English. That's very nice to see that Samsung included that. Now, I am going to take a second to get a lot of this stuff off of my desk to prepare for the accessories portion. And alright, here is the accessory kit that I bought with it. This is from Valkit. I bought off Amazon. It's about 22 bucks. I don't know if I mentioned before, the watch itself I got on a steal. It was $270. Its normal price is $350. So, save about 80 bucks. And I think it's a pretty good deal, so that's why I decided to get it. Inside of here, we got two watch faces, and Valkit has a couple different options you can choose from. You can either get black and silver of the Milanese loop band or the link band, or you can get either black, or all silver of each band. So they got a little bit of combinations to choose from. This is the link removal tool. You're going to use that to remove the links from this band, and this band actually does have quite a heft to it. I'll be weighing both of these so you can see for yourself. And this just appears to be some cushioning for the bands to make sure they are protected, which is very nice to see included. Also included, which is a very nice touch as well, is some dust stickers, a ton of extra quick release pins in case you lose them, because these will be quite easy to lose. There's a lot of them included here. I'd say, looks like 5, 8, looks like about 8 in here. And then a little, I think, 5-star guide for the company Valkit. So, yeah, also in here is the screen protectors, sorry, I forgot to mention. But this band felt really hefty, and I want to put this on the scale so you guys can see how it would weigh, because this feels like it's actually heavier than the entire watch, even with the other band. So, once I figure out how to remove this, alright, I would like to say something about this company. That packaging was some of the hardest plastic to remove from this band. That was incredibly difficult. Not only was the plastic sticking to the metal, it was getting all caught in between the grooves in the metal. So removing that plastic was very difficult. It took me about 5 minutes, actually. And while it seems nothing to you because I just sped up the video, this actually did take quite some time to remove. So I think it held up pretty well, because after being yanked on, all these chains are still together, or all these links are still together. So let's actually weigh this thing to see how much it weighs, because I'm curious to see one for myself. So let's focus here. It is going to be 90 grams, so about double, a little less than double actually, of what the watch weighs itself. So that was 90 grams. The watch itself is 59, 60 grams. So, okay, maybe not quite double, but about 1.5 times what this watch weighs itself. Quick maths, guys. And then this band feels a lot lighter, but I think makes up for it with the magnet. So it's a simple Milanese loop band, and you just essentially attach the two pieces to the watch, and it sticks to itself in order to stay connected to you. So that weighs about 30 grams, so nearly a third of what the link band itself weighs. Now, I'm not going to be removing the links for the video. I'm just going to show you how to use this tool, because I'm going to be fitting it for my wrist on my own time. It's going to take way too long for this video if I show you guys how to do it. But it's essentially simple. You just put it in this cradle here, line up the screw with the hole, and then you just easily screw the tool into the link to remove the peg from it. You can see all those little holes have a peg in it. And so it's pretty simple to remove that in order to make the band adjust to a lot of different wrist sizes. I think I'm fine personally. It looks like I'll have more than enough room if the band can loop around. I will measure the length for you here, because it likely won't fit every wrist. And so I just want to show you guys what a good rule of thumb would be for the size of this band. So it's actually too big for my caliper, so I'm going to have to give you a little bit of a rough estimate, but it's over 6 inches long. I'd say about 6.5 if I were to just go guess off the top of my head. So I would definitely measure your wrist ahead and see if that's going to be able to make it, because if your wrist is over 6.5 over 7, then it might be pushing it for the watch being able to fit you. And it's not going to be a perfect fit, because you can only remove an entire link at a time, and it won't be a completely comfortable fit. It'll be either a little too loose or a little too tight. It can't be completely perfect just because of how big these links are. But I overall like the aesthetic of these links and think that it matches pretty well. Not perfect, but pretty well with the watch itself. The watch has more of a glossy finish. And now that I look at it, it matches the side finish a lot better than it does this finish, because the front where the links are, that one's more glossy, but the side is more matte stainless steel. And then the bezel here, I'm rotating for you guys. That feels really nice. Some people I've seen have commented that it feels loose. This feels completely sturdy to me. Does not have any wiggle. It doesn't move up and down at all. It feels like it's completely sound on there. All right, YouTube. So we are back, and I have just finished about a week with the watch. I've had this on and off for a week, and I'm going to be giving my afterthoughts and my opinions on the accessories and the watch itself. So here is the watch I have, and it's I have a simple face on it here. I like the more simplistic look with just like Roman numerals, not too much going on the face itself. That's just my personal style. So a few things I'd like to talk about. First of all, the watch itself. It feels heavy at first and unusual on your hand, but I actually got used to it pretty quickly. I don't really notice it anymore, and I actually like that it complements most of what I wear, just because the neutral silver color works well with pretty much anything you wear. I've gotten a lot of compliments on it, so that's great. It feels really comfortable. I don't feel like I have to adjust it too much. Certain bands will slide down your wrist a little bit more than others. This band that I have on right now is like the loop band, and it doesn't slide very much. The magnet on here is really strong, and this is part of the Valkit band accessory kit that I showed you guys at the beginning of the video. So I usually will switch off between this band and the link band, which I will show you in a second. It wasn't too hard to fit the link band either. That was you just had to remove a few links. It took me like 10 minutes to get it to the size I wanted, and now I don't have to mess with it anymore. So about the watch, again, it's really responsive. It feels really nice. It's it feels really fast for something that doesn't have that much power in it. The space constraint I'm not too concerned about. It has 4 gigs installed inside the machine. You can't upgrade it, But then again, I will only be storing watch faces on here. I don't care to store music or photos, but you are capable of storing both. The health data is really helpful. It's if you want to like see anything about how your steps are or sleep schedule. And I feel like it's pretty informative. But there are a few things I disabled pretty quickly, and that was, first of all, I disabled the notifications for when you're resting, because those are really annoying. It pops up about once an hour and tells you to do some exercises. If you're like sitting watching a movie, it can be pretty annoying to be feeling the vibration in your wrist and having to look at it. So I turned those off pretty quickly. The dynamic workout detection, I turned that off too, because that got really annoying after a while. I would just be walking pretty fast around my house, and it'll think I'm, like running a marathon or something, which got really annoying really fast. When I raised my wrist to look at the watch, it would say that I'm doing great on my workout, which I didn't really like. So I just disabled most of the automatic detecting things. The only really automatic detecting feature I like on this is the raise to look at the time. That's really the only automatic detecting feature I use on the watch. The bezel is really nice. There is one thing I'd like to mention. I don't know if it's just my model or not, or if it's a problem with all the Gear models, but the bezel will occasionally glitch out when I'm like trying to turn it to the right to get the screens to move to the right, or to the left to get the screens to move to the left. It will just glitch out and not move at all, or like jump back and forth, rather than moving to the selected screen that I rotated it to. A simple restart, just by holding down the home button and hitting power off and then powering it back on, solves the problem, but it'll occasionally arise again temporarily. As far as the bands go, they are really nice. The Valkit kit that I bought is actually much more quality than I was expecting, to be honest. And I did not expect for them to be as nice for a $22 price point. The screen protector is not the best. I will mention that though. It's not 100% fit to the screen. It protects most of it, but not all of it. So there is like a little bit of room around the screen protector where the screen could get damaged, or where you'll see, if you turn the watch, you can see the lip of the screen protector and it doesn't look too nice. And I feel like the screen smudges easier with the screen protector on, but it is glass, so it doesn't feel any different. To remove the bands, it's actually pretty easy, and it's really nice that Valkit included a bunch of these quick releases, because I could see these getting lost pretty easily. They just slide right out, and I feel like they slide out easier on the other band than this one. This one, they stay in the band pretty nicely, or in the band pretty nicely. I don't usually find a problem with removing them, but because I'm doing it on camera, I feel like I am having more trouble than I should. So, give me just a second. Alright. And there we go. So, I'm not going to remove the bands for the video just because that was kind of hard to do with my hands wrapped around the camera. So, I will just be leaving this band on. I do have the automatic light detection on too, so if it's like really dark room, it won't light up the watch really bright, which I like that too. Alright, really cool trick you can do with the case. So the case that it comes in has a lid, but I have the lid off right now because you can use the case as a stand and a storage compartment. So if you take a look at the top part of this case here, it is like a seat for the charging cradle, and it has a room to route the cord through the base of it. And so you could actually charge your gear while it's resting on top of the stand, and I'm not going to lie, it looks pretty slick with all black and all the accents match and everything. It's got Samsung right there. So I pretty much daily set this on here, and it feels really nice. Speaking of setting it on the charging cradle, this thing has exceptional battery life. Normally I will get, when I will take the watch off of the charging cradle at around 6:30, 7:30 in the morning every day. And I will only put it back on at around 10:30, 11:30, or later. And it charges really fast, first of all, which is important to know. But by the time I set it on the cradle in the afternoon, or the night, I guess, the battery life is still at like 70 to 80%, which is exceptional. If you're planning on using this for 2 or 3 days without charging, I don't think you'd have a problem with it. There's one thing I'd like to mention though. I did end up downloading a watch face app because I wanted more faces, and I found this cool app called Facer and it has just all these different kinds of watch faces. There's lots of cool ones to choose from, lots of ones that Samsung doesn't have on the Gear store. But the unfortunate downside of that was it drained my battery like crazy. Just having the app installed would lead to like 30% battery or 10% battery lost every hour. And so like 3 hours into my day, I was already at 70% with the app installed. And that's without even using the faces. So I would just like to say, if you're considering getting the app facer, keep in mind, while it does have cool faces, it will drain the heck out of your battery, even if it's not using the current face from that app. The band, actually, I was really surprised. It does not pinch at all. Unless I'm like moving it up and down my wrist, it really will not catch on any of my skin or hair on my arm. It feels really nice, to be honest. The only really downside to wearing this band is when you rest your hand on other surfaces that you might scratch it. So that's like the only downside. I don't feel like you'll scratch it as easily with this band on, because this band doesn't have the material that would scratch like the Link band does. And then my least favorite of the bands is the actual one that's included with the Samsung Gear. And it's not really that I have a problem with it. It's just like I don't think it's really my style. And this one takes longer for me to put on, at least, than the other ones. The other ones I can slip on over my hand. This one I gotta kind of wrestle it in order to get it on, at least in my experience. And the small band, it totally does not work for me. The smaller version is like barely long enough to reach the other side of the belt or the loop here. So I need to use the large one. But it's really nice to have the flexibility. If I needed to dress fancier for an occasion, I could just use the leather band, or at least the Link band, which I'd probably be more inclined to go with. So I think that's about it for my afterthoughts about the watch. It is a really good watch. Like I said, this is my first smartwatch, so I don't know if I'm really missing a comparison point from owning another watch. But I highly recommend this one to anybody who's buying a first-time smartwatch. It's compatible with any form of Android, especially Samsung phones, of course. But it's also compatible with Apple, which I think gives them a huge head in the game for Apple, because people looking for a different style from the Apple Watch can look towards this watch, because it's more of a classic look to it. Or if you're more into the sportier look, you could go with the Frontier. I think that's about it for today, though. I think I've talked enough about this watch, and you guys have probably heard enough. So I think I'm going to wrap it up here. Thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos like this. Leave any comments in the comment section if I didn't answer any of your questions, or if you had questions still about this video or another one. And I will see you guys in my next video.